Greetings ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ATA tutorials, and today we cover something very interesting. In this part we are going to be looking at how we can set up a QuickBooks company file but for a school. For starters, what we have been doing basically was for trading businesses that are into physical stock. But if you're running something like a school, that is purely a service business. So it has a little bit kind of difference in how you really set up its file. So this is a question that we're going to practice. If you are running a university, a college, an academy, a secondary school, a primary school, then this video is perfect for you. If you have not yet watched our first parts from where we started, please you can follow through from this very playlist, then you're going to catch up with us. So this is the question that we're going to practice, and I'm sure by the end of this video everyone will be at par to run an accounting management information system but using QuickBooks for a school. Okay, so this is our question, and we're not going to waste a lot of time. We strictly go to what has brought us. Saying ATA Academy Secondary School decided to install QuickBooks accounting software to manage its accounting system at the start of the first term, January 2026. So it has some opening balances. So our opening date will be 1st January 2026. So we have some opening balances. One, we have fixed asset, motor van of 40 million. This one we don't waste a lot of time because we already know how to do this from our previous videos. So I'll quickly go to my chart of accounts. If you don't know how to set, because you see for me I've already set up the company file for my school. So if you don't know how to set up a company file, watch the very first video of this series. Then you're going to learn how you can actually create a company file in your QuickBooks software. So I go to account new. The categorization is fixed asset, and we call it a motor van. Okay, motor van. We enter its opening balance. This is quite easy because we have done it before. It is 40 million as of. So we put our opening date. We are using 1st Jan 2026. I click OK. I save and close. So you see we have our motor van, and of course equity also increases because of the accounting equation. Then next is we still have some opening balances of bank. One is Centenary Bank, another one is Stanbic Bank. We also enter that the same way. You go to chart of accounts, you go to account, go to new, categorization is bank, continue. So our bank, we are calling it Centenary Bank first, Centenary Bank. And that is we enter its opening balance. They're telling us it is 600 million. Statement ending date, we put our opening date for this very term. I say okay. I save a new because I have more banks to enter, more bank accounts to enter. There is also Stanbic 80 million, so we also do that. Stanbic Bank, we enter its opening balance. It's 80. Okay, 80 million. Statement ending date, we maintain the opening date for the term. So I save and close because I don't have any more bank account to enter. So I save and close. So you see we have our bank accounts here, Stanbic, Centenary, and the motor van. We move. They are telling us that now this is where the heart of the video is. So you need to pay attention when you reach here. We are saying the school's enrollment was 30 students from senior 1 to senior 6. The school fee structure or bill is as follows. So they are showing us we have senior 1 we have class, we have the status whether they stay at school or not. So those who don't stay at school denoted by day, and those who sleep at the school denoted by boarding. So we have classes senior 1 to senior 6. Now, in a school setting, this is actually the product which they sell, because it is where they generate revenues from. This, what I have highlighted, is basically the product, like the item which they sell. So in order for you to proceed so that you can sell this product to the students, we are going to configure this information, this item, within our QuickBooks. Then each time we have a customer who is now going to become the students, because the students are the customers in this case, we are going to sell them this exact product. So I want you to watch carefully how we can do this configuration. So these are simply the rates. If you are in a day, this is what you pay. If you are in boarding, this is what you pay, from senior 1 to senior 6. So please, and you shouldn't worry if you need this as a practice question, so that when you are practicing, you follow up. You can always ask I send via the email. Our email is here, or WhatsApp. So you can practice while you're following through. So I'm going to configure this information in our QuickBooks real fast. So I assume that I'm here on the home page. So you go to lists, okay? Then you go to item list. So you go to item. So I prefer, since we have so many products or so many items to add, that we use this feature of add multiple items. Instead of using new, we add multiple items. So the items, this is like our inventory, the one that we are going to sell. So you see here the categorization is service, because the education is a service. So our item name, let me first remove this prompt. Our item name here, the first is senior. So you do this categorization. You can say S1 to represent senior 1. So it is S1, but we have day. Okay, S1 day. Their price, like the amount at which they pay, is 220. If you check well in the list, then the required income account, this simply means, like, when you receive amounts from these people, how are you going to categorize the amount that you have received? So in this case, I can call it school fees or tuition. So I prefer, let me call it tuition. So you see the account, the income account that we record that money, you simply add new. You see the right categorization is income, we call it tuition. We call it tuition. So I save and close. Then we shall also have another item, senior 1, but boarding. So their rate for boarding is 500,000. So the income account category is still tuition. Then we have senior 2 day. The rate is 240,000. Categorization is still tuition. Then we have senior 2 but boarding. Okay. Boarding also pays 500,000 tuition. Then we also have senior 3 boarding. No, day. We start with day. The school fees that they pay is 260. Still, when we receive that money, it should go to the tuition account. Then we have also boarding section. Their rate is 500,000. Still tuition. Then we have senior 4 day. The rate for senior 4 is the day section pays 280. Then the categorization still is tuition. Then we have senior 4, but boarding. Boarding pays, it's still 500,000. So tuition. Then if you check here on our question, senior 5 to senior 6, they pay same school fees, same tuition. So I don't really need to do senior 4 separately from senior 6. I can take it as similar item. So I can prefer to enter it as senior 5 and senior 6. Start with day section. Day they pay 400,000. Categorization still is tuition. And we still have senior 5 and senior 6, but boarding section pays 1 million. Categorization for the income account is still tuition. Excuse me. So after doing that, I can successfully save. Okay, so make sure that here at the list they are showing us that the service list. There are other options, but you must choose service lists. So we have created, what we have basically done is that we have created a product that we shall be selling to our customers who are the students. So I save this. So 10 service item records have been saved. So you say okay. If I click on escape and go to the item lists, so you see our lists have actually been created. So now we are good. We continue. They are telling us, so after configuring, now we see what the question actually requires. Sample school enrollment. So they are giving us some of their customers, some of their students. P senior 1 day, Zeph, Mike, Zine, with all those details. So they haven't told us to do anything about this so far. And then they are telling us the following students had fees balance from last year, which is 2025. So these are like opening balances of the customers. So let us first enter this before we see what they are telling us about the transactions. So I'm going to enter this. Like the previous years, these people had not cleared. They had some school fees balances, which they have not yet cleared. So we take that as opening balance of customers. So we enter it the normal way. Come to our QuickBooks. Use the customer center. Use customer center so that we can reflect the money for those guys. So one is let us check. One is, so you go to new customer. One is Daniel. Sorry, is Daniel, and his previous opening balance 90,000. So the date, we put the opening date, which we said 1st Jan. So I say okay. Then we add another one, new. We go to new customer, and this is called another one is called Zeph. So Zeph also had a school fees balance previously. Zeph of 120,000, and of course the date is 1st. I say okay. We continue. So our accounts receivables have actually been created. If you check, well, these data should appear here. You see the balance is 210. Those that we are carrying from the previous period. One is Daniel and Zeph, and they're showing us that they're actually opening balances. Okay, we continue. They're saying now we cross to transactions. That bill the students on the sample school enrollment list above. So they are referring to this list. Peace, Zeph, all these that we bill them. So this is how you're going to do it. Billing them means that we send invoices to them, showing them that this is the amount that we actually that they owe us. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. So just like in a selling business, I'll create an invoice, and remember we have already configured the item that we're going to sell to these people. So I go to create invoice. Actually, you watch this. When I go on create, you see they are telling us that bill your customer and receive payment later. So it's what we're going to do. So create invoice. So the customer first we are having piece. So you add piece, you say piece, you create new because piece is not there. Create piece. You don't enter opening balance because you are simply creating the customer name. So you come here, the item that we are selling, actually piece is in senior 1 day. You first confirm that. You see piece is senior 1 day. So that is the item that we are going to bill piece. So I'll say senior 1 day. Now the amount is already there because we set it in the item lists when we were configuring the items or the stocks that we sell. So that is it. Because I have multiple invoices to issue out, I'm going to use the icon for save and new instead of save and close. So I say save and new. They warn me about the dates. We are using anyway, they are also not specific about the dates. So I can decide to use this particular date that is there. So I can save and new. Okay. Then I create another invoice for next one is Zeph. You can check that. Zeph senior 1 boarding. So I go here, add Zeph. As if Zeph is already there. Let us check. Hey, Zeph is already there. So you don't have to create Zeph again. So Zeph senior 1 boarding is here. The item is here. The money is already there. Save and new. I add another customer, Mike's near 1 day. We are Mike's near 1 day now. So Mike is not there. I add him. So I say Mike. Don't enter the opening balance. Then you say the item is near 1. Mike, it is near 1 day. It's near 1 day. Like this. Save and new. Very fast. So the invoices are being created. There is Zine senior 4 boarding. Zine is not yet created. So I say Zine. Zine is senior 4 boarding. So item will be, we are selling senior 4 boarding is here. Okay. Save and new. Next is Taka. There. Next is Taka senior 2 day. So Taka not yet created. So we say Taka. Say okay. Taka is senior 2 day. Senior 2 day is here. Save and new. Next is Daniel senior 2 day. Daniel senior 2 day. So Daniel not yet created. No, he's there. He's already there. Daniel. So I click on Daniel. Then the item we are selling is senior 2 day for Daniel. Senior 2 day. It's here. So I can now save and new. Then also have Jack senior 5 boarding. Jack. I create Jack. The item is senior 5 boarding. So you come here, add the item, senior 5, no sorry, senior 5 boarding actually. So save and new. Then we have Asta, senior 6 day. Asta, senior, the item is senior 6 day. Okay, save and new. And lastly, we have Margaret. So the last customer on the billing sample is senior 4 boarding Margaret. So we also enter that Margaret. We add new. Say Margaret. Say okay. Item is senior 4 boarding. Senior 4 boarding for Margaret. Then we save and close. After entering all the invoices, save and close. So if you really want to check, like you want to send a bill at once, or you want to see, because this amount, it should automatically be recorded in our income statement as sales, as the tuition. So if I check on the reports here and go up, check on the profit or loss account, and I choose the date all, they're going to show me how much we shall collect from tuition from these people. So if I double click on this amount for tuition, you can check that. If I double click on this amount for tuition, you see this is the bill. There is a detail of each and every one. They are categorized as accounts receivables because they have not yet paid. We have simply created bills for them. So you see this is the amount that we have. So if you can print out this, then you can go to classes and you start demanding these people. So that is how interesting it is. Now if I even use this feature here for the reports and go to the here reports in the menu bar, you go to customers and receivables, then you go to customer balance summary. You see, even they can show you all these people. Asta, Jack. This is how you can easily identify these people. So I escape and continue. See what they're telling us. All students paid their school fees balances in full, and all funds were paid in Centenary Bank, with an exception of Mike and Tucker, who paid 40% and 50% respectively. So that means all students paid, then only Mike and Tucker have not yet paid in full. So this is very simple. Since we have already created invoices for them, we are simply going to receive payments. So here you created an invoice. Now to enter this, you receive payments. So when I click receive payments, I want to receive from, first is Asta. Okay, how much are we receiving from Asta? Full amount. Okay, so you have to tick here. When you tick, they show you how much you're going to pay. This is the payment. If someone is not paying in full, you put the amount that he's going to pay here. But then if he's paying in full, if you tick here, it should automatically put the 400,000, which is the payment amount, and also the payment received here in the last column. So you record that. Mine has hidden here the icon, but if I press enter, it is okay. It's going to be created. So that payment has been recorded. Now I can also do for another one. Another one is Daniel. But then for Daniel, there is something on Daniel, because they are saying for Daniel, oh no, Daniel is also paying in full. So I simply tick here for Daniel, then automatically they show me that he's going to pay full amount. So I enter. Then we receive for, next is Jack. Okay, his bill is already there, so I simply check that. I press enter. Also received from Margaret. Check here. Press enter. Yes. Also received from, next is Mike. But Mike, it is 40%. Mike, it is 40%. So it's not full amount. So I don't need to tick that. I'll only receive. I come here where you put the amount to, like the payment amount. You put 40%. They don't allow percentages, but 40% is 0.4. So I put 0.4 times you use a star times the amount that he's supposed to pay. It is 40% of 220. So 220. And I press enter. You see the amount auto computes. So when I check here, they are going to show me the 88,000, which is the 40% of the amount due, the 220. So that is how you enter for those who are not paying in full. We enter that. Then we also receive from Peace. I think Peace is paying in full. So I simply tick here. I press enter for Peace. Then from Peace, we receive from Taka, but Taka, there is something on Taka. Taka is paying only 50%. So come here on the payment amount. I put 0.5, which is 50%, times the due amount is 240, as you can see it in the column for amount due. So if I press enter, they are showing me is going to pay 120 because it is 50% of the 240. So if I check here, the payment amount will reflect here. Then I press enter. I continue and receive. That was for Taka. Yes. Now we go to Zion. Zion is paying the whole amount. Press enter. Then lastly, we have Zeph, who is also paying the full amount. So I simply tick and close. Now, those are the transactions that we have. You see, the question was saying that they paid through Centenary Bank. So if you notice the receipts that we have made, those funds are undeposited. They are in cash forms. So we must go on and take that money to the bank account, which is Centenary. So you come here and record these deposits that we have just received. So come here, you tick all these amounts. You tick like this. You tick and tick and tick. Tick, tick, tick. All these are in cash form. You want to take them to the bank. So I press OK after ticking. Then deposit to the Stanbic Bank and Centenary. So our preference is Centenary. So use this drop down to change the bank account to Centenary. So they are bringing me this about the default setting of the bank to always receive the amounts. So I can decide not to make it default because sometimes we might want to put the money in Stanbic. So everything looks okay, good. If there is a right date that I want you to use, you put that right date. So I save and close. So if you want to confirm the balances that we are left with, like the accounts receivables, the money that we still demand these our customers, you come here because all other have paid except Mike and Taka. So this is what we're going to do to check. You can use the reports option here in the menu bar. You go to the customers and receivables, then you check the customer balance summary. So if we check in the customer balance summary, you see there is Daniel, but this was his opening balance. Then also Zeph, Zeph 50%. We haven't received the amount for Zeph. Then there is Taka 120. No, something is wrong. Let us see. Receive payments. Let us receive from Zeph again. Let me see. Why is he having some balance? Oh, so you see, we must receive everything. The only person that we are supposed to leave balance with is Mike and Tak. So Zeph, let us record that. Then also there is someone. If I check again in the reports, go to customers and receivables, then we go to customer balance. There is another one. I think it's, let me first check on the question. Mike and Tak should be the only ones with balances. So Mike and Tak. So even Daniel, we must clear this 240 for Daniel. So let me try to receive. We go back here. Customer payment, we receive from Daniel. Yeah, you see this 240, we are not received it. So you simply tick there. Okay. Now we first record these undeposited funds as well. So you tick. Okay. The money goes to Centenary. I save and close. So if we check in our Centenary account on the charts, Centenary account, it should go up. You see, it has gone up by around 3.77 million. Let us confirm again, because the balances that we need. Go to reports, go to customers and receivables, summary. You see the Mike 132,000, then Tak 120. The 40%, the 60% that was left, and the 50% that was left for Tak. That is how you can confirm that. Let us move. The following expenses were paid using Stanbic Bank. So they are paying some expenses. This is quite easy. You know how to do that from previous videos. Those who have been following up. It is okay. We can simply generalize. So you go to chart of accounts and pay off these. For me, the core part of the video was how to receive this, the tuition and the school fees and the whatever. So if you have to pay off these bills, you go to activities, then you make journal entries. So put the right date. The right date is 14th Jan. So 14th Jan is here. Of course, we debit the expense account, then also credit the other account where you're picking the money from. So you start with the account which you want to debit. Allowances, so we don't have that expense there. You add new. So you say expense, continue, you give it the name that you want. Mind, they're calling it allowances for science teachers. So science teachers, okay, like this. So I save, then I debit the amount. The amount is 2 million. Then they are telling us we pick the money from Stanbic. So you save and new. Then there is also repainting class walls, 35 million, Jan 20th. So Jan 20th is here. Add new expense or repainting. You can call it repainting class walls. So save and close. You debit, the amount is 35 million. You're still picking the money from Stanbic. I think yes, from Stanbic Bank. Save and new. So we put the last one. The date is repairs for staff houses. Add new expense can call it repairs for staff houses, like this. Save, close. We debit, the amount is how much? Let's check here. 10 million. Okay. 10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 10 million. And that's 0. It's 10 million. We are picking it from Stanbic. I'll put the right date. It's 25th. Save and close. That's how you do that. Quite easy. So that money has been picked from Stanbic. If you double click there, I can show you the details. All this money has been picked from. Okay. We move. Now they're saying the following salary expenses were also paid using Centenary account. So they are paying some of their staff. So this is simply double entry, like the same thing that I've been doing. So you can go to chart of accounts. Then I go to activities. Again, make journal. Make journal entries. Put the right date. The right date is Jan 30th. So the expense, it's the one that we debit, but we are calling it, shall call it salaries. You can term it as salaries and wages. Save, close. The first person, they are paying them 1 million. Which all of them are 1 million. Can confirm that. 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. So we say debit 1 million. This is 1 million. The money we are paying it from Centenary. So you credit. But then what is unique about this entry is that you have to come here in front of salaries. You put the name of the person that you're paying. So when you click on this drop down menu, they're going to ask you, who are you adding? We are not adding any of these. The one that we are adding is actually an employee, Onesimus Ariho. So you come here on the name drop down. If you don't see their name, you add new. Then they're asking you, is he a supplier? Is he a customer? An employee or other? So it is employee. It's what we take. So we put his first name is Onesimus Ariho. You don't do anything, you simply add. Now, yeah, they are prompting you. Now, this is for the version of the people who are using QuickBooks Online. For you, always look for leave as it is. So you see, Ariho has been created. We save a new. On the same date, they are paying again salaries. They are here. So now you don't create a new expense account because it has already been created. So again, 1 million. We are picking the money from Centenary and the person that we are paying. So I'm going to add new. We categorize him as employee and we call them, it's called Okech Albert. Okech Albert. Very simple. Okech, then can call this Albert. That's again. Say okay, leave as it is. Then that is it. Save new. The same date. Again, I'm paying salaries, so I pick this account which I've already created. How much? Still 1 million. We are paying the money from Centenary. Then the name of the employee that we are paying, use the drop down, add new, then it's employee, continue. It's called Peter Amanya. Very simple. Peter Amanya. say okay, leave as it is. I save and close. So that is how we, so if you open this account, they can show you the details of the people that you have paid. You print out this. Okay. Next is additional transactions. They are paying some water bills. I'm not going to do this. You treat it the same way I have been doing the others, the rest of the expenses. You debit electricity, then credit the bank. Debit water, credit the bank. Then just like we have done for these, for maintenance. So please, this transaction I is the same as this for Feb. Then there is another operational expense of 4. It is still the same thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, they're asking us that we enter the above data and auto-produce the reports. All of us know how to produce reports from the previous videos. You go to reports. If you want the income statement, you go to profit loss standard. Then I advise you, see here we don't see any transactions there because of the dates. So you must come here and change the date to all so that it captures all the transactions that you have entered. Then you can export this to Excel, or you can copy it or print it out if your computer is connected on the printer. If you want to look at the balance sheet, very easy. You come here to reports, you go to report on all accounts, you go to balance sheet standard, and there you go. I advise you take all so that it covers all the transactions. So basically that is how you can approach the QuickBooks for a small school, like a secondary, like a primary. So if you really love what we are doing, I still encourage you, please, you give us a subscription if you have not yet. Then also share this content to your friends whom you think that they actually need it. Because we always say, you cannot be the custodian of knowledge. You must always share knowledge if it is to become important. Then also, if you need any help in assignments, any kind of courses, undergraduate, master's level, we can help you do that by reaching out to us through our email. So thank you so much and good luck as you practice. Catch you in the next.